Good day, Philo. Setso is back. Today, I'm going to do with you the application of square identity. This one, square identity, and also the quotient identity. See, we have sine squared plus cos squared equals to 1. We also have the following variation. Sine squared is equals to 1 minus cos squared theta, and also this one of cos squared theta is equals to 1 minus sine squared theta. You see, then the quotient one, it is given by tan theta is equals to sine theta divided by cos theta. You see, let's say now if I were to decide to give you this one now, say okay, let us prove that 1 all over cos squared minus 1 is equals to tan squared theta. You see, we want to prove that the left hand side is equal to the right hand side. Firstly, we need to write them separately like this. See, we have 1 over cos squared theta minus 1, right hand side, which is tan squared theta. You see, then from this you just need to pick the more complicated side between the left hand side and the right hand side. Clearly our left hand side is more complicated, but now check, we have a fraction. You see, we have a fraction. Let me show you a technique that I normally use to solve fractions. Let's say if I have 1 all over 2 plus, let's say, 3 all over, let's say 3 all over, let me say 5. See, then how do we solve for the following fraction? So easy. I normally use this method. I call it a cross method, like this. You see, whereby now I write a line like this, then I keep a sign, you see, plus sign this side, then I multiply my denominators, which is 2 and 5. 2 times 5 or 2 times 5, I get 10 like this. You see, then now I say 5, this 5 multiply by 1, I get 5. Then I write 5 somewhere here. Then I go now by saying 2 multiplied by 3, like 2 multiplied by 3, we get 6. Then 6 plus 5, we get 11 all over 10. You see, like this. Let us try to apply this concept, but now on this one. See, we also allowed to do like this, you see, because it won't change anything at the end of the day. Then now we can then now write our division like this, then and also include the negative sign. Then we have denominators, cos squared theta multiplied by 1, we get cos squared theta. Then 1 multiplied by 1, we get 1. Cos squared multiplied by 1, we get cos squared theta, like this. You see, so simple. Also have something like this. Then now check on our numerator, this one, you see. Then let us go back to our identities. Then we also saw that sine squared theta is equal to 1 minus cos squared theta. You see, then where we see 1 minus cos squared theta. We can then substitute what? Sine squared theta. You see, 1 minus cos squared theta. Then I replace the entire with what? With sine squared theta. And it's going to be like this. Then we divide by cos squared theta. You see? Like this. Then now, let us look. Both our ratios consist of squares. It's like if I were to ask you to expand the following x squared, you say we have x multiplied by x. X multiplied by x, like this. Same applies to this one. It's like now I have sine theta multiplied by sine theta, you see, cos theta multiplied by cos theta, you see, and sine divided by cos gives us what? See, tan. Then I have tan for this one. Then I also have tan for this one. You see, tan multiplied by tan, we get tan squared theta. It's like the whole thing is going to be what? Tan square of what? Theta. You see? Then our left hand side is equal to tan squared theta. Our right hand side is equal to tan squared theta. Then now we can then say our left hand side is equals to our right hand side. Just like this, we have managed to solve our problem. You see? Let us try another one. Let me do this quickly. Let's try another one. See? Let's say if now we have 1 all over sine squared theta minus cos squared theta divided by sine squared theta equals to 1. Then now what are we going to do is, let us separate them like this. We have 1 all over sine squared theta minus cos squared theta divided by sine squared theta, and on our right hand side we just have 1, like this. Then let us solve. We also have the fractions on our left hand side. You see, for us to solve this, we are going to consider more complicated side, clearly, which is our left hand side. Then now let us apply the very same idea. If we have now the fractions, don't forget to include your negative sign over there. Then we're gonna say this one multiply by this one. You see, don't quickly write it like this. It's like if I were to give you an example using x squared. Like if you multiply this, somehow we're gonna add our exponent, which is going to be 4. Don't simplify it firstly. Write it like this. It's like now I have sine squared theta, then close bracket, like this, sine squared theta. Don't quickly simplify your denominator to make things much easier. Don't quickly simplify your denominator. See? Then let us cross now. Sine multiplied by 1. We get sine squared theta. Then sine multiplied by cos. We're gonna get sine theta, sine squared theta, cos squared theta, like this. Let me ask you this question. If I have sine x minus xy, and ask you to factorize the following, how will you factorize the following? Clearly, you can clearly see that x appears on this term and also this term. Then we're gonna take it out. Then we're gonna remain with 1 minus y like this. Then this x is our common factor, you see. Then it's like on this one we have sine squared theta minus sine squared theta. It is common, you see. We just need to take it out. Just need to take it out like this. We close and we're gonna have 1 minus cos squared theta. Then we close. Then let us divide by sine squared theta like this. Then we also have sine squared theta like this. Now check. This one is going to cancel this one. Then at this point, we can then now say 1 minus cos squared theta is equals to sine. You see, we have 1 minus cos squared theta. Then we equate this thing to sine squared theta. Then it's gonna be sine squared theta like this. We also have divide by this sine squared theta. You see? Then sine squared theta divided by sine squared theta, we get, I don't have much space, let me try to write here. We're gonna get 1. You see? At this point, we can then now say, let me write 1, you see? Like this. I don't have much space. At this point, we can then say our left hand side is equals to our right hand side. You see? Let us try another example. Suppose if now we have this example of tan theta plus cos theta over 1 plus sine theta equals to 1 all over cos theta. How would you solve this one? Don't forget, we start by splitting them like this. We have tan theta plus cos theta, and we divide by 1 plus sine theta. Then our right hand side is just 1 all over cos theta like this. You see? Then now, which one is more complicated? Left hand side? Then it's like now, if you were to look carefully, do you see tan theta? Let us go back to our quotient identity. It's going to be sine all over cos. Let us write it somewhere here. Sine all over cos theta. Then we have plus sine cos theta. Then we divide by 1 plus sine theta like this. Now we have a fraction. You see? Now we have a fraction. Then, if we have a fraction, we are going to use what? The cross method. By saying, let me put brackets on this one. You see? Don't forget that as for your denominator, don't quickly simplify it. Then we're gonna say denominator, which is cos theta, multiplied by entire 1 plus sine theta, is going to be cos theta close 1 plus sine theta, like this. You see? Then now let us multiply 1 plus sine theta with this one. Is going to be, it's like now we have sine theta 1 plus sine theta. Let me quickly factorize this one. It's going to be sine theta, sine multiplied by 1 is sine theta, plus sine multiplied by sine is sine squared theta. Then let me write it here. The sine theta plus sine squared theta. You see? Then I also write this positive sign. Now we have cos multiplied by cos. We get cos squared theta, like this. Then now on our numerator we have sine squared theta plus cos squared theta. Do you see? It is a square identity. Then this one is going to be now sine theta plus, this will change into 1. Then our denominator now we have cos theta plus, or sorry, open bracket, 1 plus sine theta, like this. You see? Then now if I were to give you this question, let's say 1 plus 2, and ask you the answer, you'd say the answer is 3. Same applies if I say 2 plus 1, the answer will be 3. Both things are the same. It's just the arrangement. Do you still remember the commutative property? You see, it's just the arrangement, but they are the same. It's like on this one, sine theta plus 1 is equals to 1 plus sine theta. They are the same. Then I'm going to cancel like this. Then the final answer is going to be 1 all over. Let me write it here. It's going to be 1 all over cos theta, which is our left hand side. Our right hand side is 1 all over cos theta. You see? Then let us conclude. So let us conclude by saying now left hand side, it is equals to the right hand side. At this point we have managed to solve for this problem. Let me give you another one. Let's say if now I have this one, sorry, let's say if now we have 1 all over tan theta, like this, is equals to cos theta divided by, let's say, sine theta. Firstly, for us to solve this, let us split left hand side is equals to 1 all over tan theta. Right hand side is equals to cos theta sine theta. Which one between the two seems to be more complicated? It is our left hand side. Let us consider our left hand side. Then it's going to be 1. You see we have tan. This will change into sine all over cos. It's like now we have 1 divided by sine divided by cos theta. You see? It's like in a way we have two divisions, you see, to make this thing to look much simpler for you. Write 1, then divide by sine theta all over cos theta. It is much simpler like this, you see. Then now we just need to change this sign into a multiplication. When we change this sign, which is division, into multiplication, then this ratio is going to switch into cos theta all over sine theta. Then 1 multiplied by this, it is cos theta all over sine theta. Our left hand side is the same as our right hand side. Then we conclude by saying the left hand side is equals to the right hand side, like this. Now we have managed to solve this problem as well. Then I'm thinking of giving you another one. You see, let me give you another one quickly. Let's say if we have tan theta, this multiplied by cos theta divided by sine theta, like this, equals to 1. We want to solve this thing. Let us split into the left hand side, which is tan theta multiplied by cos theta. Then we have sine theta, like this. Our right hand side is equals to 1. You see, we know that tan is equals to sine divided by cos multiplied by cos. Then we divide everything by sine. This one is much simpler. Cos cancels cos. Then we remain with what? With sine theta divided by sine theta. Sine theta divided by sine theta, we get 1. You see? Then let us conclude by saying the left hand side is equals to the right hand side. Then at this point we have managed to solve our problem. You see? Then okay, fellow, I just want to thank you and enjoy the rest of the day.